This video is brought to you by viewers like you. Consider supporting us on Patreon.
Yo, 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 yo. What the fuck's up there, everybody out there on YouTube? So go by Papa Tkyo, coming to you live from the J-Land. Still making these fucking awesome rants and all this shit. How y'all doing? I'm doing okay. It's a nice warm, well actually no, it's like windy, cold, but it looks warm. It looks nice and sunny, and there's vegetation on the trees, kinda, but yeah, people are still wearing layers, still wearing masks, and it's like, it's one of those days where just like, it looks normal outside, but it's windy cold. But anyway, yeah, welcome back. Before I get into it, big shout out to today's sponsor, Nakano Shimbashi Guest House. Boom! Look, guys, whenever Japan opens up, $400 a month, literally 5 minutes away by train, less than 5 minutes away by train from central Tokyo. Like, there's Shinjuku right there. And, yeah, I mean, like, a great place to study Japanese, make Japanese friends, and it's a great starter place for your Japanese journey. So make sure that when you make a reservation with the links down below, that you tell them in your reservation email that Papa Tkyo sent you, so I get that nice sexy kickback. And yeah, and I'm serious too, don't fucking, like, you know, I've had like 5 people plus join the guest house, and they have to make me wait until I go and talk to them. And then they're like, oh yeah, I'm a fan of yours. And I'm like, did you say it in the email? No. And I'm like, well, you know I don't get any kickbacks unless you say that. Yeah. So go tell them that, or else I'm not going to talk to you, because it's a dick move. You're not helping me out here. They're like, oh yeah, sorry. I'm like, yeah, fucking tell them. If you're going to move there, tell them, okay? But anyway, yeah, big shout out to them. It's just cheap, awesome fucking guest house stuff. I wonder if I'm still going to be living here by the time this rant goes out. I have about 6 months, well, until the beginning of June, rants backed up. So this is going to be interesting to see when I release this. But also, yeah, big shout out to NordVPN. Boom. Guys, one of the people really liked the most recent rant that I released and the analogy I used. But basically, if you want to think of antiviruses as a condom for when you're having sex, think of NordVPN as the bouncer to make sure you don't get raped when you're sleeping at night. And you're like, what? Or sleeping during the day? I don't know. I mean, the point is just NordVPN. It keeps you safe, keeps all this shit out, and also it gives you, it's like, yeah, it's like the bouncer, you know, private bodyguard. It lets you into the cool places that normally you couldn't get into, but since you paid him a little money, he gets you into it, like watching, you know, like watching TV and all this other shit in other countries that you wouldn't normally have been able to access and shit and all this stuff. So yeah, NordVPN, use my promo code down below. They kick ass. And question of the day. And question of the day is, you know, how cold is it where you guys are right now? And if I'm probably releasing this when it's not cold, but hey, you know, whatever. How's the weather where you are? And also, interesting question. I always ask like kind of a bland general question, but an interesting question too is like, which one do you actually prefer? The hot weather or cold weather? Because my friend, I was on the phone with my buddy Ryan Boundless the other day, and he's in Uganda. TD's for Uganda. He's in Knuckles Kingdom right now, and you know, I was just telling him how it's like in the guest house it's cold, and he's like, man, I would give my left nut first to feel some cold right now. And he's like, every day it's fucking raining, and then it's really hot, and it's like 30+ degrees, and I'm like, yeah, aren't you kind of like near the equator and shit? And he's like, yep. And he's like, so. He's like, I would love to just have one fucking cold day, you know? And I was like, well, yeah, to be fair, I guess I did live in Las Vegas for a year, and I hated that. I mean, like, it was just hot, and just, like, it was, like, the scenery was just, like, you know, if you ever lived in a really nice scenic place, like in the countryside or whatever, or even, like, places where, like, they have mountains and shit back in America, then you'd know, like, Las Vegas is just such a fucking downgrade. It is literally, they had mountains of dirt. It was literally like mountains that looked like fucking dirt. It was like giant shit mounds. It was disgusting, and I was offended by how shitty it was. But yeah, if I had the choice, like, you know, you either go live in fucking Mexico or Alaska, you know, I'd probably choose Alaska just because I like the cold, you know? I mean, as much as I bitch about it, it is, there's something nice about just, like, you know, just like bundling up in clothing and going outside. Like right now, I'm wearing 2 shirts, a business jacket, 2 shirts, a business jacket, and a lot of fucking stray hair, and then a vest on top of that business jacket, and I have like a heat tech mask on that covers my neck and my face, and then I also have long underwear underneath these pants, and then I'm wearing regular socks. I should have put on double layer socks, but in my experience, when you put on double layer socks or really thick socks and you're walking around a lot, it just like you sweat more, and it just it's not good. So I don't like to do that. But I don't know, just something nice about here. Like, I mean, that's the thing. It's like I don't like to complain. Well, I mean, I kind of do. It's just, sometimes it's really cathartic to complain, and just, you know, because usually you're just projecting and about something else you're angry about, but you're just saying that thing is what you're angry about. But you know, like, Tokyo is great. Like, it has moderately temperate weather during summer, like in the middle of summer and the middle of winter. Like, it doesn't really snow that hard, and it's not like I remember in Las Vegas, just for fun, I threw an egg on the sidewalk one day and it cooked the fucking egg. like goddamn. I bet Tokyo could kind of do that too, but I mean, Tokyo's a wet heat, and I don't know. I mean, it's just, I remember this last year, actually, I was walking for 3 minutes in the direct sunlight, and I had to sit down. I felt like I had gotten heat stroke or something. It was really bad. Yeah, it wasn't good. But I mean, like, you know, that's like during peak day hotness, you know? Like, most of the time it's not that hot, even during, like, I mean, it's hot, but it's not like disgusting San Antonio, you know, Texas hot, where it's all super humid and hot. God. But anyway, yeah, that's my question. Which one do you prefer, and why? You know, give me the reason why. Don't just say why, like, say the answer, but tell me why. You know, sell me on why you like it better. Because I talked to my other friend in Florida recently, and he was just like, and he used to live in Japan, and he's like, I just don't ever want to feel the cold again. And I was like, why did you move to Florida? Florida's like alligators and like heavy metal and Hulk Hogan and like ATVs and swamps, and okay, it actually sounds pretty badass. But I'm like, why do you want to move down there? And he's like after that, and I'm like, aren't you afraid of the hurricanes? And he's like, dude, like, I don't ever want to like, I think he lived in like not Hokkaido but northern Japan. He's like, I just don't want to feel that shit ever again. And I was like, okay, yeah, I guess, you know, hey, more power to you, right? But damn. Anyway, that was the question of the day. Today we're going from my guest house, the Nakano Shimbashi guest house, all the way from Nakano Shimbashi, all the way to my friend's house in, well, I went from Nakano Shimbashi in Nakano-ku, and now I'm going all the way to Shinagawa-ku, Nakano-bu in Shinagawa-ku. So, I don't know, it's just funny. I can't really bitch, though, because, like, I remember being in Osaka, they would have train stations that were right next to each other, and instead of naming them the same thing, just slightly different, they would have completely different names, and it would be so annoying. And at least in Tokyo, for the most part, they don't do that often, so... What? Why are you honking? Why did he honk? Did I drop something? What's going on? Ugh. I don't know what the fuck he was bitching about. Did something fall off my bike or whatever? Oh well. I'll figure it out eventually. But anyway, yeah, so, that was weird. Yeah, Spaghetti's driving, he's riding a little bit funky, but, you know, I don't know, if he's riding really, really funky or something, I'm pretty sure somebody will honk at me eventually again. But yeah, so, it's the beginning of the new year. This is actually the first rant of January 2021, and it's interesting, you know? Like, this is my first, like, this year I'm making a big leap, and I'm not gonna do my rants on my main channel anymore, because I know that despite everybody really fucking, you know, there's a hardcore group of people that really do love the rants. I mean, hell, it shows with the new channel. Oh yeah, by the way, if you made it all the way to the new channel, if you're on ADVJapan right now, thank you. Thank you so much, you know? These rants are for you guys. These are specifically for you hardcore dudes who love to hear my young, stupid ass ramble about shit. It's so funny. I'm this year, I'm officially like mid-30s now. And I still feel like a little kid, you know? I mean, sure, I'm responsible, you know, I know how to cook, do my laundry, clean up my house, you know, and pay taxes and whatever, but I still feel like so young, you know, like I still feel like, I don't know, like when you're young, you want to come off like you're super majime, like super serious, you want people to acknowledge your gangster, but for me, it's just like, you know, I don't know, I feel like I was trying to be a quote-unquote adult for so long, and you know, like I felt like if I do adult things, then people will respect my gangster, like, you know, like get married, buy a house, get a job, career at a real jobby job, and I don't know, I felt like really unhappy, I felt like full of anxiety, I felt like I was like, yeah, finally, when I do this other stuff that I think other people will appreciate about me, then I'll finally be happy. And, you know, but I don't know. I mean, like, that stuff is like, I think we change, you know? We change as we grow older. And like, what we want changes as well, right? So, like, for me, I was talking to my buddy over the phone today, and he's, you know, he's pretty high up in his company, and he's been high up, like, he's been doing big boy jobs for a while now. And, you know, he was talking to me today about, he's like, hey, you know, this guy just moved to Japan too, and, you know, he's like, Sam, what do you want to do? Like, what's the next plan over the year or whatever? And I was like, well, I just want to make videos that go viral. I want to make like big hits. I want to grow my fucking channel. I feel like I've just been kind of dilly-daddling up until now. I gotta like fucking, you know, balls to the wall. You know, I gotta like go full bore and stop wanting to quote-unquote experiment and do videos that I thought would be interesting to me and start selling out, you know, making videos that are good, because it's like, if you get a big enough audience, then you can do whatever the fuck you want kind of thing. You know, and I'm pretty sure I could do videos that are high production, interesting, and in a way that could get viral hits. And like, I've got so many people getting my back now, I could show them the video and they're like, yeah, that's cool. And anyway, I was just talking to him, and he's like, he moved to Japan like 4 months ago or whatever, 4 or 5 months ago, and he's like middle-aged dude, once divorced, he has a kid back in America, and he has a new wife now, and he was able actually to come over to Japan during Corona, which is fucking nuts. That's awesome for him. He's like one of the few new people that got a new visa and was able to come over here. And you know, he was just telling me how it's like, I knew this would happen though. I knew that he would like, because he still would work American hours, so he would be up during night and, you know, on the computer doing the Zoom stuff or whatever, and I knew that when he came here, he would eventually get tired, because he'd just be hanging out at his house and with his wife the whole time. And like, he needs some bros, he needs some like people to like be around that can like, you know, that he can do business big boy stuff with. And you know, he was like, hey Sam, like, what do you but was watching Silicon Valley. What do you think about doing your own like think tank, your own like, you know, you could be Elric. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't know, dude. Like, I've already been a quote unquote manager for like when I subletted my house, and like I just hate dealing with people like that. Like, you know, I don't want to be a manager or anything. And it looks like, from what it sounds like, I'd have to get everybody. I collect all the people. I take care of them. You just cover the bill, and then you have a place like a bro den to come and hang out often in. You know, when you're getting away from your wife. And this guy doesn't hate his wife or anything. Like, they actually get along really well. So I know it's not like, oh, I got to get away from my wife. I think she's like, you need to get out more. You know, like, you're going crazy just being cooped up here. You got to make some bro friends and stuff. And he's like, I think I'm just going to take a year off. He's like, I've never taken any time off the whole time I've been working. I think, he's like, even when I was moving to Japan, I was still working every day on the phone, on the laptop. And he's like, I just want to take a year off, you know? I want to, like, he's like, I want to make the move fully to Japan. I want to, like, you know, I want to learn, like, actually sit down and fucking learn the language, maybe join a language school, and, like, join some martial arts thing to really get, like, you know, to really feel, like, connected to the people, get some actual Japanese bros and stuff. And I was like, yeah, man, fucking do it, dude. Like, you can do it. I believe in you. Go Bears, you know? But, you know, he was just like, but it like, what it was coming down to, though, is like, Sam, can you do all this for me? I'll pay for it. Or, like, implying that he'll help pay for it, you know? And, like, I know what he was thinking, though. He's like, hey, Sam, if you're around productive people and you're in, like, a house, not like a guest house, but an actual house, then, like, you know, with other, like, people. And I'm like, nah, dude, I've done that in Japan. It's shitty. It sucks. The houses are small. There's no big common area. I'd end up having to clean up after these assholes. Like, fuck that, dude. And he's like, you wanted to move in with Tetsu, though? And I was like, yeah, because Tetsu's my good friend. And I know him well enough to know that he's not fucking dirty and that I wouldn't have to clean up after him. And he wants to help me with my YouTube stuff. And I was like, I'm not going to be a fucking, like, manager. Like, I thought when I first moved back to Japan that I might do a guest house thing. But that was just because I wanted a bigger room and I didn't want to pay for it, you know. And one of my bosses at the school was like, you know, if we found a guest house that you could run, then you could live there rent-free, have your own room, and, like, I could pay you, too. And, like, I was like, that's pretty badass. But we just never found a house that we both liked. And so we just fucked off with that idea. And so, like, now the plan is, like, just I either fucking, you know, I either move out by myself by the end of this year, or I fucking, you know, like, I was gonna move in with Tetsu, but Tetsu's already in his own place, and I was like, so the plan was to move in with Tetsu originally, but he didn't like the place that we liked, and I liked it for the budget and the atmosphere, and he was like, ugh. But I was like, the only two places I'm moving out from now on, is it, like, I'm not gonna downgrade. I'm not gonna go back to a $500 a month like, shitty fucking shaken balsam wood like, no elevator, you know, apartment somewhere. Like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Like, this time around, it's either I'm gonna live with a friend who I really trust and I like, which all my friends are married now, or they have their own apartment like Tetsu, or I just more likely just move in by myself, you know? Just move in by myself to my own place and be left to my own devices, kind of thing. And, yeah, you know, but he's like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I just want to focus on making, like, you know, for so long I wanted, like, I thought I wanted to, like, you know, it's like I always said, like, oh, I want to be big on YouTube, I want to do this, I want to do that, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, ultimately, I would like to have enough money that I can pay for an apartment. Hell, like, maybe even buy an apartment, who knows. You got to be careful of that, though, in Japan, because sometimes you could buy an apartment, but it's going to be demolished, and so you'll get a little payout, but, you know, you lose all your money. So you got to be careful about that sometimes when you're buying an apartment here. And plus, like, if they do maintenance, you have to do maintenance, and, like, you have to pay into all this different fucking stupid maintenance fees all the time. So it's not all it's whacked up to be. But yeah, you know, it's like, I'd like to just move into a new fucking place that is like around $1,000 plus a month. That will let me have a dog eventually that I could upgrade. That I want to fucking it's like that I could customize if I need to. And what do you mean by customize? I mean, like, well, I eventually want to get my hunting license here, and if you want to get your hunting license, you need to be able to get an apartment where you can make or do construction in the place, so you can make room for an extra, like, for your locker for your gun and your locker for your ammo. And I just, I'm thinking, like, long term here, that, well, one, I want to get back into, like, I want to do more manly shit, and I think killing stuff with guns is pretty fucking manly. But also, I just like the fact that guns and bullets, I mean, they're expensive, but they're not that expensive here. And even the renewal fees aren't that much. It's a pain in the ass for the paperwork. But, like, I was just thinking that, like, moving on, like, I don't know if you guys have ever had wild boar, but it is some of the tastiest, like, pork you'll ever fucking taste, ever. And, I just, deer, like a fucking Joe Rogan, that shit, venison, I really want to start having, like, I want to be able to eat deer, I want to fucking, like, just be able to kill and eat my food. And I don't think you can bow hunt in Japan. I think that is, it's illegal here. Which is lame because, the whole Japanese archery thing is here for a reason. But, yeah, you can't do bow gun hunting or something. So, but you can do regular hunting. And I was just thinking, like, man, like, if I join, like, let's say I don't even do hunting that often. If I become a hunter and then I make friends with other hunters that even when I'm not hunting that often, those guys share food. Like, they share their stuff all the time. And it's like the number one thing that it's just a pain in the ass for me to go out and get by all the time is it's not vegetables, it's just meat. I love eating meat. I don't think I'm going to be a vegan anytime soon. And, but I was thinking, like, man, like, getting some, like, real fresh fucking, like, deer meat and, like, be in their network where I can be like, hey, guys, I got some stuff, here you go. And then they could be like, hey, man, I got some stuff, here you go. And being, like, one of the few foreigners that would get a gun, then they would be like, like, I could get, like, I would instantly be, like, popular with those dudes just because of my rarity. And then, like, we can swap food. Like, Sam wants a gun so he can swap food. Yes. And be more manly. Yes. Yes. What part of that don't you understand? But anyway, I'm just, like, the next place I move to, I'd like to be able... Like, all I want is just basically, it's like, I want a house that's big, or not big, but it's just like, I want a kitchen that's big enough to be fully stocked in my point of view. And then also, I want a big-ass fridge. Ultimately, I'd like a bedroom for, like, just chilling out. And, like, the bedroom could be small. It doesn't even need to be that big. It could be, like, 4 whatever. Like, ultimately, I'd like a small bedroom, big living room / play area. Or just a big studio apartment. The thing that I don't like, though, is, like, one of the reasons why I feel, like, so productive at the guest house, though, is that I don't have, like, all my books and, like, video games and everything in front of me. Like, it's not, like, my area is simply, like, a work area. So I don't feel bad about, like, oh, man, I really should play all these games that I have, or, like, oh, I should read all these books that I have. It's like, nope. Like, books go in the bedroom for when I want to read books. And, dude, are you fucking... You didn't even turn on your signal. You didn't even turn... You old piece of shit. That's it. Go rape him. I don't know who's going to do it, but go do it. Okay, we're at Nakanobu now. Sweet. Yeah. Nakanobu Station, right? Are we there yet? I think we're there. I remember we can turn in somewhere after the pachinko place. But anyway, I was just thinking about, like, my next apartment. I want it to be the big one. I want it to be like I don't know if it's going to be the final boss apartment, but I'd like it to be the vice boss or the sub boss or the mini boss, Like, God, like, I feel like so more in touch with who I am and what I want out of life now, that it's like I just want a home base, I want a home base that I like, that I can afford, and you know, that's what I want. And is this Nakanobu? Did I go too short or too far? I don't fucking know. Yeah. Baby, come back. You can put it all on me. Anyway, this is the part where I don't remember where I am. I'm on number 1 right now, but I know that when I wanted to go to Nakanobu, I could turn into the station. So, yeah, let me just swerve into... Yeah, I don't think this is the... I don't think that was the turn yet. I think it's coming up. Yeah, but... Anyway, I don't know, just thinking about, like it is time to go big or go home kind of thing, you know? It's like I'm already a permanent resident of Japan. You know, I pretty much don't have a career anymore. So it's like, you know, what are you going to do next kind of thing? You got to decide, like, what you're going to do. Like, are you going to really go YouTube hardcore, or are you just going to keep saying, like, yeah, it's fun? Because, like, I think for the longest time, I was just like, yeah, you know, I'm all right. Like, you know, like, I thought that I was doing all right on YouTube because I was making money. I'm like, hey, look who, you know, who else is making, like, $500 to $600 on Patreon a month? And it's like, yeah, but your Google AdSense sucks. And, like, you know, yeah, here it is. I knew that we had gone not far enough. There we go. My instincts kicked in. 'Twas smart. 'Twas smart of me to do so. Yes. Yes, indeed, Reno. I hate this area, though. I fucking hate it. My friend loves living in this area. This is Nakanobu, and this is Shinagawa area. And you're probably asking, but Papa Tkyo, why? Why do you love such... Like, why do you love this, or why do you hate this area so much? And it's simply because there's so many one-way roads here. Like, at least in Nakano, it's more spread out. And as you can see, like, this area's got nothing. It's just like, it's basically like Asakusa. There's just tall buildings, like a big road, and there's no really nice parks around here. And it's all just like, there's nothing interesting in this area, you know? At least with Nakano, I am less than 5 minute bike ride from Shinjuku, the biggest, coolest place in all of Tokyo that has, like, awesome hotels, awesome food, arcades, titty joints, it's got everything. But this area, what do they have? They have pachinko, they have all these small little things, and it's just like the only people that live here are kind of rich cunt assholes. That's about it, you know? And, man, those cars were speeding fast behind me. Fucking A, dude. Fucking A. Fucking A, lad. But, yeah, like, look at this. There's a Central gym. Central is a 24-hour, like, they're 24-hour now? Shit. When I joined, they were 24-hour, but look at how big that is. That's a tiny-ass fucking gym in an office section. That's because this whole area is, like, it's escalated price. Because a lot of rich people that used to live here, they died, and then they gave that land to their kids, and the price just stayed high, you know? And it's just fucking, it's bullshit, you know? It's fucking bullshit. And, you know, this area, it's just like, if you look at it, like, everything looks clean, right? Everything looks nice, and that's because the taxes are so high, because they got rich people here with lots of money. And, yeah, my friend lives in this area because his wife's work, used to, like, his work and his wife's work was easily commutable from this area. So they purposely lived here, or they moved here so they could both get to work easily, and then I guess they really fell in love with it. They really like it. And damn it, where's these roads? There's a road. Okay, here's a fucking road. And it's just so lame to get to my friend's house, because it's just like, you have to fucking go on this big loop around to get to his fucking place, and it's just annoying. I'm gonna have to take out my GPS soon, aren't I? God, I can't even turn right here. This is the exact road that I need to go onto. Can't even turn right. So as you can see, it's just like tiny houses. This is like the tiny houses. What is it? It's like that weed song. With the houses and the people and the teeny tiny houses and the people and the teeny tiny houses. smoking weed every day. It's just, it's bullshit, you know? Like, these places, like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna have the rent be high, at least have interesting shit around. There's no interesting shit around here, so... Anyway, I'm gonna have to loop and go back, but, anyway, God, this felt good to be a first rant. I had so much shit I wanted to get off my chest, and I barely got all of it off, but this was fun. Thank you guys for loving my stuff. The ironic thing is that, you know, by the time I release this, I'll have to ask my editors if they still want to do the rants, and if they don't want to do the rants, then I'm going to have to find other people to edit these, because I'm not going to keep doing these. I'm not making any money off of them, except for the Nord, I guess. Nord and Patreon, if people came from that, but either way, you know, we'll have to figure it out. But anyway, if you made it this far, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, subscribe bell to get notified. We're almost, by the time I'm making this, we're 20 subs away from 1,000 subs, and that's fucking awesome. Like, I make that announcement video saying I'm leaving, and everyone's like, wait, I'll sub, and like, I had like 500 people in a week come over to the new channel, so thank you guys for that. But anyway, it's time for me to go say hi to Rich, and I'm kind of hungry too, so talk to you guys later. Stay black. Yeah, buddy.